Welcome back. I'm Rajni Bhatt, your political science teacher from Ardent Progressive School. Students, as we know that nowadays we have taken the first chapter of book 1 from your political science, and the name of the chapter is Constitution, Why and How. In our previous session, students, we came to know about the meaning of Constitution. After that, we came to know about the different key features of our Constitution beta. What can be the different characteristics by which we can understand that yes, we have a wonderful Constitution beta. After that, we discussed about the need of Constitution. Why do we have a great need of Constitution in our country? Even all the countries have a great need of Constitution. Why? We discussed in our previous session. To have beautiful rules and regulations for the people of the country, policies and schemes which can be favorable for all the people equally, for the availability of fundamental rights for all the people equally, to maintain peaceful atmosphere in the country, to avoid any kind of conflict, struggle or chaos in the country. So for all these purposes beta, almost all the countries need the Constitution. Now, the different subtopics which we have to discuss today are, the first subtopic is beta, different functions of Constitution. In this subtopic beta, we will come to know about the functions of Constitution. How does it work? After that, we will discuss about the process of formation of Constitution beta. How it got formed. So let's start with our first subtopic, that is different functions of Constitution. As in our previous session, students, we discussed about the key features of Constitution. Now today we have to discuss about the functions of Constitution. Now the first point is to provide political identification to the people of the country as citizenship. Yes beta, this is one of the most major functions of our Constitution, that Constitution used to provide the political identification to all the people as the citizenship beta. Okay, all the people who live in a particular country, these people get a kind of political identification for themselves, and this is called citizenship. It proves that these people are the natives of that particular country. They have all the rights to enjoy in their country, and this political identification is known as citizenship, which can be provided by the Constitution equally to all the people. Now next point is beta, to provide moral identity by providing them fundamental values in the form of fundamental rights and duties. Yes beta. So first is political identity and second comes moral identity. And this moral identity people get how? In the form of fundamental values. And these values can be in the form of fundamental rights as well as fundamental duties beta. Okay, in last session we discussed about the fundamental rights also. Okay, again I can repeat here so that you can understand easily. Our fundamental rights also motivate us to follow different values in our day-to-day life beta. How? If we have equality, so yes, we have to follow equality by taking care of equality of others also. If we have freedom, so really for enjoying our own freedom, we don't have to interrupt in others' freedom beta. So this is also the part of value. When we take care of others, when we respect others, when we love others. Okay, so this is the part of values. So these fundamental rights inspire us to follow different values in our day-to-day life beta. Okay, and what are these rights? You know very well. Right to equality, right to freedom, right to religion, right to education, right to raise voice against exploitation. Okay, and ultimately the last one, which is the most important fundamental right, right to constitutional remedies beta. Now along with these fundamental rights, Constitution has provided us fundamental duties also beta. Really, if we want to enjoy our fundamental rights as the citizen of country India beta, so this is our moral responsibility that we should follow all the fundamental duties also in a very perfect way. I can give you few fundamental duties also beta. Okay, These fundamental duties are, we have to take care of our environment, natural environment. We have to take care of our national properties in the form of different monuments, different historical buildings, museums, public places and all. We have to follow all the principles which were followed by our freedom fighters. Beta. We cannot ignore their effort or contribution, because just of their effort and contribution only today we are free. Then we should have scientific way of thinking with logics and all. Next fundamental duty, we should get ready every time to defend our country against any outside attack or battle or war. So in this way we have so many fundamental duties with us. So in this way Constitution provides us political identity as well as moral identity beta, when we become quite able to enjoy our rights, fundamental rights, as well as to fulfill our fundamental duties also. Next is beta, to provide equality and freedom to both majority and minority sections. Yes, this is also the function of Constitution, to frame such kind of rules and regulations excuse me, where minority as well as majority, both sections can have equality and freedom in the society beta. You know beta, what is majority, what is minority? Majority means the people who are in numbers. So that group of people can be known as the part of majority. On the contrary, the people who are less in numbers, this group can be known as minority. Okay, so almost all the time what happens? Minority section tries to dominate, majority section tries to minority section beta, because in minority section people are in numbers. Okay, they have more strength, okay, more power rather than minority section, because these people are less in numbers. So Constitution tries to avoid this kind of situation by providing equality and freedom equally to all the people beta. Now next, balanced distribution of power to different levels as well as different organs of the government. Yes beta, when you were in 10th class, there also beta, in the chapter power sharing, you came to know about the types of power sharing. Power sharing means distribution of power beta. Okay, so there you came to know about the different levels of the government as well as different organs of the government beta. What are the levels of government? Central government, state government and local government beta. So in this way, under Constitution, all these three levels of government get equal power beta. Okay, to work systematically, to run the country in a systematic way. As central government takes care of the whole country, state government takes care of an individual state, and then we have the concept of local government. Local government takes care of the villages as well as the towns and cities for the reduction of the burden of state government beta. Okay, now in the same way we have different organs of the government also with equal power. How? I shall tell you. Legislature, this institution has the responsibility to frame rules and regulations for the people of the country. Then executive comes. This legal constitution has the responsibility to execute or to do the implementation of those rules and regulations which are framed by the legislature. And at last what comes beta? Judiciary. Judiciary has the greatest responsibility, that is to provide impartial justice to all the people equally beta. So in this way, Constitution provides a golden opportunity to all these levels of the government as well as the organs of the government to have equal distribution of power, so that these levels as well as organs can work in proper system. Now next is beta, to provide checks and balances system for the success of the Constitution. Now, for understanding this point beta, you should know what is checks and balances. This is very simple beta. In your previous classes also I taught you the same thing. When I shall explain now, you will say yes, we knew that. Okay, checks and balances. Okay, what is it beta? Under checks and balances, we have to take all three organs of the government: legislature, executive and judiciary beta. Legislature and executive, okay, do not have the right to interfere in the work of judiciary, okay, but both can interfere, can have a kind of supervision to see the work of each other. Legislature, how legislature is framing rules and regulations, executive can supervise them. In the same way, how executive, this institution, is going to do the implementation of rules and regulations, legislature can also have a kind of check or supervision. Then judiciary, we have, judiciary has the right to check the work of both institutions, legislature as well as executive. How legislature is going to frame the rules and regulations, whether these rules and regulations are favorable for all the people equally or not. If no, if answer is no, then judiciary can bring amendment, means changes in those rules and regulations. Now judiciary can supervise the work of executive also, whether implementation of rules and regulations is going on nicely, legislature and executive are working properly or not. This is the responsibility of judiciary to check, to supervise beta. Okay, in this way, this process goes on, the checks and balances. Okay, in this way, judiciary can have a kind of control to maintain the balance in the way of working of legislature and executive. Okay, beta? But this is also very important for us to know that legislature and executive cannot interfere in the work of judiciary beta. In my previous classes, I told you about that. Okay, why? Because sometimes it can be happened that legislature and executive can create a kind of pressure over judiciary to provide partial justice beta, which is not the responsibility of judiciary beta. We know the responsibility of judiciary. What is it? To provide impartial justice to all the people beta. So for providing impartial justice beta, we need the situation that nothing should be there as a pressure over judiciary. Otherwise, no meaning will be there of having this beautiful facility to get the impartial justice beta. Now next is to provide flexibility for doing any required amendment in the constitution. Yes beta. Okay. Constitution has provided a kind of flexibility to the government beta, so that in case of the requirement of any amendment, amendment means improvement, change. So government people, members can be able to do that change easily. Students, our next subtopic is formation of our constitution. Okay, after coming to know about the functions of constitution, now we have to discuss how our constitution got formed beta. So let's start with the first point. It was framed by the Constituent Assembly in 2 years, 11 months, 18 days beta. Okay, the different members, there were members more than 352 beta who were the part of Constituent Assembly. So they took the duration of 2 years, 11 months and 18 days to frame our wonderful constitution beta. Okay, and you know that the father of our constitution is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar beta. So the credit goes to him, how he framed this beautiful constitution for all the people of the country India, and till today we are quite able to follow all those things which are mentioned in our constitution in a very perfect way beta. Now next is, it came into force on 26th January 1950 beta. After the formation, we can say, or after framing the constitution of country India, it came in force on 26th January 1950. As we celebrate this day as our Republic Day beta. This is our national festival which we really celebrate with happiness, enthusiasm. And on that day, really, we remember all those people, okay, the people who really contributed nicely to frame our constitution beta. Now next is beta, in assembly different members were there from various sections to bring equality and liberty. Yes, beta. This is very important to know that in that Constituent Assembly, whoever were the members, they were belonging to different sections of the Indian society, beta. There was a kind of objective behind that. What was that objective? So that all the people could enjoy their equality and liberty for that great purpose. What was the purpose? To frame the constitution for the vast country India, beta. As you know, India is very well known all over the country for its unity and diversity. So it was very, very necessary at that time for the formation of constitution. All the people could be there, okay, from that Constituent Assembly, who could belong to different communities, caste, religion, language, okay. So it helped a lot to frame constitution nicely with equality and liberty for all the people, beta, because different people were there who were belonging to different communities. So they contributed nicely there, okay, to represent unity in diversity, beta. Now next subtopic is, beta, the principles of deliberation, means how the constitution started following all the things which were mentioned as the rules and regulations there. How the different things which were mentioned in the constitution went to the society of the country India. So first point is provision of participation for all the people of different sections like elections, formation of political parties. Really, the constitution has provided a kind of provision to all the people of country India where they can participate in different government activities directly or indirectly, beta. How? We have many examples. Elections. In elections, few people can stand as candidates for the participation and few people as voters can vote for those people and really contribute for the formation of a wonderful government, beta. Okay. Next is objective to work for the welfare and goodness of all the people. Really, beta, constitution has given a kind of objective to all the people who are the part of different political parties to work for the welfare and goodness of the people who belong to different sections in Indian society, who have plenty of diversities in their day-to-day life, like different religions to follow, different languages to speak, different caste and communities, different traditions and culture to follow. Okay, so our political leaders, they have a kind of major objective to be the part of political field, that is every time to work for the welfare and goodness of the common people. That's all. Why? Because common people only have given them chance, we can say golden chance, to form the different political parties first and then ultimately to form the government, or we can say to get the chance to lead the government, okay, to provide a proper system to the country India. So for really these political leaders should work for the welfare and goodness of the common people, beta. Common people have chosen them, have given them chance to enjoy different privileges after becoming politicians. So this is their moral responsibility that they should, okay, throughout their career, they should work for the welfare and goodness of the common people, beta. And next thing is, if they will not work properly, if they will not work properly for the welfare and goodness of the common people, so ultimately they will be removed from their duties and all. Or we can say from next time, if they will stand in election, if they will be the candidates in election, no one will vote for them, beta. Okay. Now next is, beta, protection of rights through judiciary. Yes, Constitution has provided us a very fantastic facility in the form of judiciary, by which people of country India can get impartial justice easily at different levels. Beta, you know that we have different levels of courts, district courts, high courts in each and every state, and ultimately the Supreme Court, the highest court of our country, Supreme Court. So people can approach any court, any level of court to get impartial justice if something goes on wrong against them. So this is also a kind of beautiful facility provided by Constitution to us, beta. In this way, with the help of judiciary, we can protect our fundamental rights. As I told you in last session also, beta, we have 6 fundamental rights, but among of those 6 fundamental rights, the last right, the constitutional right to constitutional remedies is the, we can say, is the most important right, or one of the most important rights. Why? Because with the help of this right only, our rest of the rights can be protected. Why? Because according to this right, we have the facility to approach any level of court in case of getting impartial justice. Okay, beta? Now next is, every issue should be discussed seriously to get a better solution. Yes, Constitution has given this provision also that every issue related to any section of the society should be discussed by the government members sincerely and seriously, so that ultimately a better solution can be there for the whole country, beta. If a social issue is there, it cannot be related to only a particular section, beta. A social issue can be issue for all the people who belong to different societies or different sections, beta. Okay, so in this way, Constitution has given a proper provision that if any issue is there and that issue belongs to any community, any caste, so it should not be important for the politicians to think first about this one, that this issue is belonging to which community, which caste. It should be primary. It should be secondary, sorry. Okay, the primary thing will be whatever issue is there, it should be discussed by the leaders, by the political leaders, okay, the people who have the responsibility for taking care of all these things, sincerely and seriously, so that a proper solution can be there, okay, which can be helpful for especially that section of the society and then for the whole society. So in this way, beta, in today's session, we discussed about the functions of Constitution. We came to know about the formation of our Constitution. After that, beta, we came to know how the different rules and regulations which are framed in our Constitution come in force, or we can say get activated in our society. So this is the end for today's session, beta. In next session, we will meet again with the new subtopics. Till then, take care. Have a nice day.